ill-equipped best friends tell you about history.
Woo.
I'm Emileigh, and this is Morgan.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? We have news, but like I'm jonesing to tell everyone.
Still jazzed. I'm still so jazzed. Like, especially after today, I'm like, So, Emily, you tell them.
Okay. So, for my birthday, my lovely, wonderful sister-in-law, Shelby, got me tickets to this Paranormal Life podcast live show. And I know my birthday was back in May, but the live show finally came around, and Morgan came with us. So it was the three of us, and we went down to Atlanta, and they put on the best fucking live show, guys. The best. And if you have not heard this Paranormal Life and you're into spooky stuff, go to it, because they are the funniest people, I think, on this planet.
And they are so freaking sweet. I cannot get over how kind Kit and Rory are. It was incredible and amazing, and we got to meet them, and we hugged.
We tried
and it was actual
so
real
hard
life.
Not to be weird. We tried so hard not. We were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, we're next. Like, live. I'm like chatting with editor Phil, and I'm like, like, I'm geeking out. It's fine. I think we pulled it off. Maybe we didn't scare them away. But I also, because I'm obsessed with their podcast and I love them for who they are, and they make me laugh, I subscribe to their Patreon, and on their Patreon they do after parties where they like every week tell about their week or whatever, and they shouted us out. Oh, I literally was in the middle of ripping down the closet in the bathroom, and I screamed. The scream I scrumped. I went with a hammer and a crowbar in my hand.
And I was at work, and Emily texted me, and I started screaming. Thankfully, I was by myself in my office, and we were just like texting each other. I
was like, oh my god, I can't believe it took me this long, because it's like a week late that I'm kind of hearing this after party, and I'm like, should I respond? I think I should. Should I say thank you? I don't know. Is it too much? Oh my god, you're being weird again.
Also, we did give them our stickers.
We did give them our stickers. We were like, I ran into no walls this time. None. So
she made sure there were no walls nearby when we gave them our stickers.
Oh my god.
We were not double fisting IPAs this time.
No, I had one IPA. I learned my lesson. I had one IPA, and it was the perfect amount to make me social enough to not be weird. So other than screaming and scrumping, we've been busy, like busy bees, trying to get this October episode together, and we cannot wait to like unveil it to y'all when the time comes.
It's Emily. Emily has been putting in all the work. I've just been sitting here, and she'll text me, and I'm like, "Great, good job. You're doing awesome."
You know the episode in SpongeBob where he has to like delete all the files and all the SpongeBobs are running around in his brain? That's me right now, because school has started. My daughter has dance starting at 7 p.m. on Mondays now for some reason, and my son's got tutoring, and I'm like, I still have a job. Like, SOS.
Yeah, seriously. We started an hour late this evening.
Yes, but it's okay. We're going to be fine, right?
Yes, everything is going to be fine.
It's fine. So anyway, we should do it.
Yeah, let's get into it. I'm excited.
It's February 12th, 1994 in Oslo, Norway. The Winter Olympics in Lillehammer have started that day, and the majority of the people in Norway are busy watching the games on TV, including the guards at the National Gallery. Do you think that the Americans are going to win anything this year?
The Americans? Against Norway? They don't stand a chance.
Are you sure? They were pretty good at the last Olympics.
Pretty good? They're gonna have to be more than pretty good against a country that trains their entire army to snow ski.
Well, I guess we'll see. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Ah, I guess it was nothing.
Oh shit! Hit the button!
What button?
The one that calls the police!
Right! I forgot about that one!
You forgot! Never mind, we don't have the time. Check the perimeter!
The guards go their separate ways in the way that they were trained, but come up with nothing until they get to the second floor and see the broken window and the missing painting.
Damn, they took the scream!
Is that a note? One guard walks up to the note and reads it silently.
Who the hell would do this?
Okay, I do want to say this was 100% artist interpretation. I don't know how many guards were there that night, and by no means am I blaming them on Lilyhammer Olympics for not paying attention.
Right.
It was not their fault, okay? I needed a skit, and I made one up. So
yeah, that's how all my skits
disclaimer.
Go. There's artistic license in every single one of our skits. They are not biographical.
They're not real. I don't want you to be like, well, what the hell were those guards doing when that painting got stolen? I don't know. Probably their job, if I'm being honest. I painted them in a poor light, and okay, they're doing fine.
All right.
Anyway, do you know what we're talking about today, Morgan?
It sounds like an art heist.
It's another art heist. Woo! This one is really interesting. So in this episode, we're going to get actually into the artist because I did not know that much about him. I know the art. I don't know him, so I thought that was going to be really cool. And it's not as like, okay, this one doesn't, to my knowledge, have anything to do with the mob, like the Gardner Stewart Museum, but there's a lot of just weird shit that's going on today.
Okay, I love weird shit.
And I'm shouting out Shy on this one because we were sitting there flipping through all my books of knowledge, and we found this one together, so thanks for chatting with me. Anywho. So, today we are talking about The Theft of the Scream and Madonna by Edvard Munch.
All right.
Yeah. So, who is Edward? Sorry, I keep wanting to say Edward. It's a V. Edvard Munch. I'm not Norwegian, guys. I'm doing my best. So, he was born in 1863 and was raised in what is Oslo today. It was Christiania back then.
Okay.
His mother in 1868, at the age of, he was 4 to 5 years old, ended up passing away, unfortunately, from tuberculosis.
Oh, it's so sad.
And he actually got TB for a little bit as well, but he pulled through.
Okay.
Obviously. So he was left with his father and his siblings. I don't know exactly how many siblings he had. And his father was a military doctor, a very hardcore Christian, and was also showing signs of mental instability at the same time. Not that any of those things were related.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where it was said that he'd be, like, playing with them. Like, because they were, small children. Mm-hmm. Reading books. He raised them on Edgar Allan Poe, which is very dark. Love that, though.
Yeah.
So he'd be reading and playing with them 1 minute and then just fly into a rage the second minute.
Oh, that's so sad.
So very unstable. You could, they said you could tell he loved his children, but
he was going through it.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. And his sister, Sophie, who had ended up taking care of him after his mother's death, was a year or two older than him. She ended up getting TB and dying as well.
Oh no, that's so sad.
I know. And then the other siblings kind of ended with kind of similar fates. They either ended up with mental instability, like I think one of his sisters ended up in an asylum at some point.
Oh, jeez.
Or they died early. So it was kind of not a great childhood.
Oh,
and
wow.
He said a quote about his childhood was, quote, "Death and insanity were the black angels on guard at my cradle." Oh. How bleak.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is so, bleak is a perfect word for that.
Yeah. So he grew up. I believe his father wanted him. I didn't write it down. He wanted him to do something else. I think it was like be a preacher or something along those lines. And Edvard was like, nah, I'm gonna be an artist.
There's a lot of pain. Painting. There's a lot of pain there. He's gotta express that pain. Express. And there were other artists within his family, like extended family as well. So he had a talent for it. So he ended up going to the Royal School of Art in Oslo and started his painting career with the works, if you are familiar with his paints, Morning and Girl Kindling the Fire. And these are very traditional to kind of the style. They were in his own kind of flair, but they were people doing things. He's still learning.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, he's young. He's still learning, but it's people doing things very traditional. And then in 1885, Edvard traveled to Paris, and was extremely influenced by Claude Monet and George Seurat. Sorry if I messed that one up. Vincent van Gogh and other post-impressionist artist. He was really gobbling up the impressionisms.
Okay.
And it was during this time that he painted Sick Child. And Sick Child is a depiction of pretty much his sister in her deathbed.
Oh, wow.
I did not look that one up. If any of these you want to look up, just Google them as we go, because I only picked a couple. It was not well received at the time. And it said that it was so feeling. Like, you can just look at that and be like, that child is dying. Mm-hmm. The lady next to her,
she's got her head bowed, like she's praying.
Yeah. And like the girl is sitting up with a big pillow and she's like gaunt and pale, and you can just feel the emotions there.
Yeah.
But one of the videos I watched put this so beautifully hilarious that I just quoted it. So, quote, asking a 19th century art critic to feel empathy for others, however, is a bit like showing a dog a card trick.
Wow. What? Boom, roasted.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, you're not wrong, though. They hated it. I mean, they're like, what is this? It's supposed to be people doing things, not... Stop making me feel.
Not emotions.
Ugh. God,
not the human condition.
Ugh. You mean I'm supposed to love? Oh my God. Don't tell my wife. Anyway. So he kind of pivoted and ended up because it wasn't well received by like the art critics, through a channel of knowing people that I didn't recognize their names, and I was like, this is too much. He ended up in the what they called the Bohemian group. So,
okay.
He ended up with, not the outcast, but like the underground, the the avant-garde. Yeah. And a lot of them were anarchists. It was a lot. He didn't really, he didn't really fit in with like a lot of the ideals, but they really were vibing with his paintings. And he was just like, cool. So he just kind of moved around freely among them.
Mm-hmm.
And he, at some point in Paris, he ended up under like the study of Leon Bonnet, who apparently was a famous, very traditional artist, and he could not stand it. He described it as mind-numbingly dull.
Oh, no.
Because he was like, I want to do something different.
Yeah.
And then while in Paris, his father passed away.
Oh, no.
And he was unable to make it back to the funeral. And the pain is again reflected in his art. You could really tell, like, if you look at the years, you could tell his good years to his bad years, because it'd be like, oh, happy, oh, no, oh, happy, oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
He very much was an artist that painted from his feelings, his truth. Mm-hmm. So, in 1891, he is getting kind of enough traction, and his name's getting thrown out enough there. Because what I didn't mention is he is now spending a lot of his time split between Paris and Berlin. So he's getting a foothold in Germany as well. And in 1891, the Berlin Association of Art gave him the opportunity to have a solo exhibition, because there was this big like insurgence of like Norwegian art at the time. And he was like, this is awesome. I get to display my art. Everyone will, either love it or hate it, whatever. I get to display it. So he brought like 50 works and he put it on the wall next to all these other Norwegian painters who are wonderful and great. But he was putting his very heavy, makes you feel abstract impressionism next to a beautiful painting of a fjord. And it was shocking. It was scandalous. It was shut down in a week because people couldn't handle.
Wow.
A week. It was making like a buzz. And turns out they hadn't actually looked at his art before they asked him to have an exhibit. What?
I feel like
saw he was Norwegian and was just like, come on in.
Yeah. Not, hey, let's like make sure your art works for our gallery. Wow.
It was the late 1800s. I don't know.
No one checked anything.
No. So he couldn't believe the chaos that was like ensuing over these couple of paintings. And he just like hung out in Germany for a while and like was laughing at everyone. He's like, you're getting really worked up over this, but like, whatever. Now I'm famous because I had the scandalous paintings. Okay. And because he was like his, he has the foothold. He's now like front page news. He actually started getting his art displayed in smaller venues throughout the city. So now he is actually gaining traction.
Okay.
And the problem is that he saw his paintings almost like children. Like they were near and dear to him. And he sold very, very few of them. So he was like definition starving artist. And he sometime in the 1890s, I forget the exact year, he painted the Scream. And the Scream would go on to be one of the most famous paintings probably in the world, I would say. I mean, like, everyone knows what it is.
It's instantly recognizable. Like, people just know it by name. Like, if you just say the Scream, people are like, oh, yeah, that guy screaming on a bridge or whatever.
Yeah.
And all the wavy colors.
Apparently, the backstory is he was walking on this bridge with some friends or without some friends. I don't know if he was alone or not, but he said he felt, this is the trippiest thing, he felt the universe scream. He felt the world, the earth, like this deep scream. So he painted it. He painted the feeling that he had, which was just dread and despair and anxiety from the world. And the Scream is actually not a standalone painting in multiple rights. So the Scream was a part of a series of work that he did called The Frieze of Life. Frieze. The Frieze of Life. And the Frieze of Life includes, I think it includes the Madonna. It includes the vampire, which I think he called Fear and Love. He never called it the vampire. And it included a couple other things, including like scenes of love, the love breaking apart, anxiety, death, like human emotions.
Yeah.
Which was unheard of. You got to remember, guys, this was not normal art back then. It just wasn't in the 1890s. And so I didn't know it was like a part of a collection. But also, because he had a very hard time like letting go of his paintings, at some point in his painting career, he would paint multiples of the same painting and sell those. Okay. And then keep either like his original, or he would keep one of the painted ones and sell the original, but he would always have one with him. Okay. So that is relevant for later. We're going to talk about 2 different Screams later, but it's still the same painting. It's just 2 different versions. They're both original. Anyway, we're going to get into his romantic life because it's a fucking trip.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So, was never really great, which probably gave him more muse to work with. I don't know. I feel bad for the guy. But when he was young, he ended up having an affair with his cousin's wife. He ended up never marrying and never having children. But, like, he was sleeping with his cousin's wife. Her name was Millie. And it went on and off for years. The vampire is actually her. Whoa. Yeah.
Is it him in the... I'm looking up the paintings as you talk about them on his website.
I think it is. It does look a lot like him. And a couple other of the paintings from the Frieze of Life, where there's one where she's like standing in the woods and she's got her hands on her head like this, and then he's like off in despair, and she's like, she looks like she's frustrated or yelling or something. But they would end up having an affair for years on and off. So there, a couple of his paintings are her, pretty much the ones with red hair. Gotcha. That's Millie. So on to another one of his most famous ones that also depicts somebody he was involved with, was the Madonna. So this woman, her name was Dagny Jewel. Dagny. Yeah.
Okay.
Dagny Jewel. And she's actually the model for the painting. And he got in this weird love triangle with her and another one of his friends, Stanislas is his first name. Not even going to try the second name. I don't want to butcher that. So, Stanislas.
Isn't it? Yeah. Is that his Polish friend?
Maybe. Yes. It's
Przybylski.
Przybylski. Guys, just know that broke me. Okay, so anyway, Dagny pretty much had to pick between Edvard and Stanislas. And she picked Stanislas.
Mm.
And he was heartbroken. Now, the Madonna I love that painting. I don't know what
haunting.
It is. It is. But it's like haunting and it's like sensual at the same time. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
So she's, in the one that you have here in the notes, she's a naked woman, wearing only a hat. In this version, she looks almost skeletal.
Yeah.
You know, like she kind of looks like her face almost looks skeletal.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I can't stop looking at it. It's a really beautiful painting.
That's one of those that I would sit there and stare at it for hours in a museum. But he was absolutely heartbroken. But eventually he was like, you're both my friends. I don't want this to get between us. He gave his blessing. And then shortly after, she was murdered by a different lover.
Holy shit. Oh, no.
Yes. This is some wild shit.
This is some wild shit. Ah.
I know. So then, his last, I guess, documented partner, I don't know what to call them, relationship, I guess, was Tulla Larson. And she took a liking to him. She wanted to marry him. I don't think he was really vibing with it. Apparently, when they were together, they would like argue a lot. And it kind of got to the point where he was avoiding her sometimes, from what one source said. And then there's two stories that one of them might be true, but there's two different versions of a story that both result in him getting his left finger shot. Oh. His left middle finger.
Just the finger.
Just the finger. So, story number one is that he did not go shopping with her one night and instead stayed home and got drunk as hell. Because what I didn't mention is that he had a bit of a drinking problem too. During his drunkenness, he was fiddling with a revolver and shot himself in the middle finger.
Goodness gracious.
The other story, I'm going to need you to buckle up.
Okay.
So remember, one of these is true.
Okay.
Which one? Apparently, he was like, I don't want to marry you. So her and her girlfriends were like, I know what we'll do. I'll pretend that I'm on my deathbed. And I call for him, to see him one more time before I die.
Mm-hmm.
So she coaxed him to come. And she was hoping that her almost dying could get him to propose. He saw through it immediately. So then, because this is a sane woman, pulled out a pistol and threatened suicide if he didn't propose.
Whoa.
Somehow, in the altercation of trying to get the gun, obviously he didn't want her to shoot herself.
Right.
He somehow ended up getting his left finger shot.
Wow.
But obviously it's up for debate how he got his finger shot. But either way, he did. And she was either way involved or not really involved.
Okay. Man, I hope that second story is not true, because that is effed.
Yeah,
that is so manipulative. Oh, gosh.
Well, I would say he dodged a bullet on that one, but he really didn't.
He did not dodge a bullet, unfortunately.
Oh, my God. So, somewhere between 1908 and 1909, he kind of drank himself into the hospital.
Oh, shit.
Someone mentioned he was, like, paralytic from how much he drank.
Oh, shit.
Like, it was bad.
That's bad.
So, he checked himself into a sanatorium where he got treatments for about 8 months. Part of that was shock treatments. Yay. Because early 1900s medical care.
Yes.
Anyway. In 1909, he did return to live in Norway in his hometown permanently. He isolated himself for the most part. He had family that was still living, but he actually never saw them again, but he would keep in touch.
Okay.
It was mentioned that it seemed like he was scared because he was like living the high life in Paris and Berlin. He was scared that if he engaged too much, he would slip back.
Yeah.
Which is a fair
That's
mentality.
Fair.
So
yeah.
He lived as not reclusive, but kind of as isolated as he could. So now we're getting towards the end of his life. And unfortunately, right in those last couple of years, a little tiny thing called World War II broke out.
Oh, damn.
And
he would have been in his 80s, wouldn't it? Or
he
late
lived
70s, 80s?
Quite a long life. So, World War II broke out. He's been living in Norway this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And he became even more of a shut-in, obviously because Nazis.
Yeah.
He was afraid that the Nazis would come in and take all of their paintings if they deemed them, like, degenerate, I think is the term that they used.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, the knock never came. And then what's really weird is after his death, they gave him a full Nazi funeral, even though he was not a Nazi and did not, like, side with them, did not agree with them. So apparently, remember, he got his big start, his big break in Berlin.
Yeah.
He had fans that were Nazis. So they left him alone.
Oh, shit. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of the big name Nazis really liked his work. So, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, on January the 23rd of 1944, right towards the end, we're getting there, he passes away. I don't know what from. They didn't say specifically, probably just old.
Yeah.
Happens. So, what's interesting is that he did not leave his artwork to his family. He left his artwork to the Norwegian government. And they were hidden away and kept safe. And then, after the war, they were placed in different museums, shows, public buildings, all just to be enjoyed by the public, which is amazing.
Yeah.
More than 1,000 paintings were donated that they found in his house.
That's so many.
So many. And a total of 15,400 prints. Because towards when technology was changing, he was getting into printing so he could sell his copies. And over 4,500 drawings and watercolor art and 6 sculptures.
He was just expressing.
He had a lot to express.
He did. That's a lot of
Poor
trauma
man.
for one person.
The country then decided to build the Munch Museum of Art to commemorate him and his life work. And a lot of his art is either there or in the National Gallery or, spread around. But most of it, I think the majority, is in the Munch Museum of Art.
All right.
So, that's where all those paintings stayed until 1994.
All right.
So, on the early mornings of February the 12th, like our skit, 1994, the Winter Olympics in Lillehammer had just started. So, let me paint you a picture. It's night.
Mm-hmm.
2 dudes in a car pull up in front of the National Gallery, which is where the Scream, the original Scream, is. They leave the engine running, and they dart across the street, put a ladder up to the 2nd-story window. Security camera footage sees them scrambling up this ladder to the 2nd story, busts out a window. They climb inside. They cut the wires, because that's all that was holding it on, was the wires. They then use the ladder itself as like a conveyor belt.
Damn.
To slide the painting down. They themselves slide down this ladder. They are gone in like less than a minute.
Whoa.
They are in and out of there in less than a freaking minute. Now, guys, I left you on a cliffhanger on the skit as to what the note said, because they did leave a note.
Wow.
In place of the painting. Morgan, do you know what that note says? Do you want to take a stab?
LOL, we stole your painting.
Pretty much close. It says, quote, 1,000 thanks for the bad security.
Wow. Whoa. That's just a dick move. Wow. Way to rub it in their faces. Holy shit.
So the police arrived shortly after, and the alarm did trigger when the window was broken, but it was just too late by then.
Yeah.
Far too late. So the Scream is gone, right? What do? Well,
let's go find it.
Let's go. What's the next steps? So the gallery officials told the media, told everyone that it would be impossible to sell this painting without being noticed. Because it would be.
Right. It's kind of like the Mona Lisa issue going on.
Yeah. What was your end game? What the fuck? So, this one, like I said, was the original one. They were really worried about it because the original one was painted on cardboard. And they're like, that is fragile.
Yeah.
Please. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Don't bend it. Oh my God. So the Norwegian police really thought that like a ransom would come really quickly. Weeks passed. Nothing.
Whoa.
Nothing. And they had a couple false starts. So there was one kind of natural subject. And this was former athlete named Paul Enger. he was already a known art thief. As a teen, he played for Vålerenga. It's a 4-time Norwegian football, or Americans would know it as soccer. Okay. Football Cup champions. If I messed up that name, so sorry. But anyway, he was a footballer. He was a very good footballer, like David Beckham of his time footballer.
Yeah.
And his friends described him as sharp, quick, and technical. And apparently they would lock their keys in their car and take bets on how many seconds it would take him to get in that car. So he's quick and nimble.
Yes, okay. Just like the thieves.
Yeah. He actually had been convicted back in 1988, just, 8 years prior, of stealing Munch's The Vampire in Oslo by putting a ladder up and breaking through the window.
Well,
sus.
Precedent.
Super sus. He denied any involvement, and even though he was seen on the gallery cameras just a few days prior to it being stolen, but he still denies any involvement. And then 2 months later, his son was born, and in the papers he announced that he arrived, quote, with a scream. Like, bro.
I'm making a face. You can't see it, but I'm making a face.
You are either so guilty and you're just rubbing it in their face, or you are so innocent and you are rubbing it in their face.
Or you're being an epic troll.
Yeah.
Or epic troll. The third option is I don't think this is the case, but he's just so oblivious. He's like, wait, what? I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
Oh, he's so new. So, and a couple other false starts as well. A few days after the theft, a Norwegian anti-abortion group said it could have the painting returned if Norwegian television showed an anti-abortion film. And that claim turned out to be false. So they were just capitalizing. They were trying to bully the Norwegian government to play their
and film. Further their agenda. Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty shitty.
Yeah. Now's not the time. Okay.
Yeah. A priceless work of art is missing.
Yeah, seriously. You're sending them down a false rabbit hole, and it's just going to make you look bad.
Yeah.
Because it's not true. And also, the police found 4 pieces of the painting's frame in Nittedal, which is a suburb north of Oslo. Okay. And what was probably some kind of cryptic message that the thieves wanted to discuss a ransom. I don't know exactly when that was found. And the government did receive $1 million ransom demand on March the 3rd, but they refused to pay it due to the lack of proof. So, it took, the anti-abortion group was a couple days. They were real quick on that.
Yeah.
But it took a couple months for them to get what seemed to be legitimate ransom demands. But they're I can't discern if this is real or not.
Right. They're not just going to hand out millions of dollars to whoever was I have it, give me money.
Yeah, no.
You have to show proof.
You can't do that. So what they did is they brought in the big guns. By the name of, he was a Scotland Yard detective by the name of Charles Hill. He had been tracking down art thieves undercover for almost 15 years at this point.
Wow.
And Detective Hill was working in the London Metropolitan Police's Art and Antiques Unit and was assigned to this case. He said in his words, the robbers were, quote, a bunch of Oslo no-hoppers.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it's adorable sounding.
No hoppers.
No hoppers. And, quote, there is a madness that afflicts these people. They are not necessarily art lovers, but they view the works as trophies.
Yeah.
Which,
yeah,
I could see it. So they came up with a plan. And he said they would pose as representatives of the J. Paul Getty Museum in California.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Getty Museum was in on this. They're like, yeah, we'll help you out. We'll pretend you're representatives of the Getty Museum, and you tell them on behalf of us that there's money. You give us the painting, we'll buy it from you. Like, the Scream couldn't listen, this is so stupid. The Scream just shows up in another museum.
Like a world-renowned...
And everyone's like, oh, okay.
One of the most famous art museums, like, in the world. Just shows up there.
Yeah. It's fine. Fine.
It's reminding me a lot of, it's making me think of the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Theft, and like how there were stories of like people buying what they thought was the Mona Lisa and like
y'all,
but like never actually seeing it, and then they couldn't go to the authorities because they're like, we got scammed because we tried to buy the Mona Lisa.
Yeah, you can't be like, I tried to buy stolen art and I got scammed, so don't get me in trouble.
Right.
But
these people are scamming.
Yeah, I mean, because, like, what are you gonna do?
Right. You're gonna go to the FBI and say, hey, I tried to buy this priceless...
They were mean to me. Because I was trying to do something illegal.
Yeah.
And they lied.
I kept thinking of that episode. Go listen to the theft of the Mona Lisa if you want to hear more art heist, and then listen to the Stuart Gardner museum
those
episode.
Were both. Oh, I love a good art heist. So the Detective Hill pretended to be a, quote, slightly dodgy mid-Atlantic accented art dealer. So he's got to be good with the accents. I can vibe with it.
In the 90s?
Yeah. So he finally, like, he had to go, like, meet a person who knew a person who knew a person who could introduce them to this guy and go up the chain, right? Yeah. Until he finally got in contact with the people who had the thing, who had the painting. And he finally got him. And he had to convince these guys that he's really from the Getty Museum and would actually pay money to recover the painting. They were really wishy-washy about it. But then one night they called and they were like, fine, we'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up going to the summer home of one of the thieves.
Oh.
When he got there, they told him the painting was in the kitchen, in the basement, and you had to, like, lift up a carpet that was in the basement, and there was, like, a trap door. Or lift up a carpet that was in the kitchen, lift up a trap door, and then go down there, and it's, like, under a sheet in the basement, right?
Whoa. This sounds like a movie. This doesn't sound real.
Yeah. He said, fuck that. And in loosely his terms, he's like, I'm not going to go down there and be down there till next Christmas. Absolutely the hell not. Smart. You can go down there and get the painting. And if it's there, you can bring it back up.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know what? Yeah, I get that. They went down there and they got it.
Let's not have a Silence of the Lambs situation going on here.
Yeah. They're like, we're already in enough deep water. Like, let's not. So they went down and got it, brought it back up, uncovered it. And there she blows. There it was.
Wow.
In May of 1994. 3 months. That's all it was gone, was 3 months.
Wow.
The scream was found. And I don't know if there was like a money transaction and then he left and he was like,
get him, boys.
Get these guys. I want the money back, by the way.
Right.
But the following, a little over a year and a half later, so in January of 1996, 4 men were convicted and sentenced in connection with the theft, including Paul Inger.
I knew it all along. He was too cocky.
He's too cocky. So the 3 other men ended up being released due to like a loophole because the police involved had used like false identities. I don't know how that's a loophole. Isn't that how like sting operations work? I don't.
Right.
So it's illegal to go undercover? I don't know.
Norwegian law.
Yeah.
Something.
Inger was the only one who actually got sentenced something, and he got 6.5 years. But then he escaped while on a field trip in 1999 and then was captured 12 days later in a blonde wig and dark sunglasses trying to buy a train ticket to Copenhagen.
What? This guy is not a real person.
No.
He's a cartoon villain.
He eventually got out, and then in 2015, he was charged again for stealing more than a dozen paintings from a gallery in Oslo. Keep him behind bars, guys.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Hide your Munchs. Hide your Van Goghs.
Hide your Monets.
Hide your Monets. He's coming. Oh, Lord, he's coming. So... Oh. So do you think we're done, Morgan?
Well, we haven't talked about the Madonna yet, so I assume not.
Let's talk about the second theft.
Okay.
Of the fucking scream. Maybe the scream could see the future, and that's what they're screaming about.
Wait, the scream was stolen again?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
This time it was one of the copies, but it's still a hand-painted scream by
Munch.
By Munch, and they're all valued, I think, pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Because they're literally just 4 copies of, and they're a little different too. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, this one is way scarier. Because at 11:20 a.m., the middle of the day, on August 22nd of 2004,
whoa,
2 masked men entered Oslo's Munch's Museum of Art, armed with a...
Holy shit.
Is it 35 Magnum? I
don't
know.
ask
Magnum.
me about guns.
Gun!
I don't know anything about guns.
The pew-pews!
The rat-a-tats.
I don't know what they are. I know how to shoot them. That is the knowledge I have.
Yep.
So, they literally ran in there and they were like, everybody down! And everybody got down. And then they just ran up, snip, snip, again, just cut the wires.
Holy shit.
And grabbed the scream, number 4. It's the one that was stolen. Scream number 4. Pulled it off the wall, and as they were running, they grabbed the fucking Madonna, too, and then just...
Wow.
Leave the Madonna alone.
Leave her alone.
So, a bystander outside the museum was actually able to take a picture of them, the thieves, as they escaped. And witnesses stated that no alarms went off when the paintings were stolen, and that they were only attached to the wall by the wire.
Why does this keep happening?
I don't know.
Why didn't they learn their lesson the first time?
I don't know. And there was a French radio producer, Francois Castang, who was visiting the museum at the time, like, that the crime happened. And he said all you had to do was pull the painting hard for the cord to break loose, which is literally what they did.
That's ridiculous.
So they're on the hunt again.
Okay. I'm thinking of just the episodes we've covered of art heists.
Yeah.
We have the theft of the Mona Lisa. We have the Isabel Stewart Gardner Museum.
Right.
We have the first Scream theft.
Right. It shouldn't be this easy.
Right. Like, clearly it's an industry. you think they have more security.
You would think with all the Ocean's 11 movies that they would figure out that, like, they make it look so hard. They're coming in on wires. They're
dodging the lasers. And
they're like doing the things. These motherfuckers just walked up, pulled it off the wall, had a gun in their hand, and just walked back out the damn door. What is happening?
That's crazy.
Yep. So, on April the 8th of 2005, so, coming up on a year, probably 8-9 months, however long that is,
mm-hmm.
a suspect was arrested in connection to the theft, but the police still hadn't found the paintings yet. And then a rumor surfaced that the paintings had been burned to, like, hide evidence of this crime. I will say, to quell your worries, that turned out to be false.
I'm glad.
So they would go on and arrest 6 more people.
Wow.
Related to the theft, which still they hadn't found them yet. And then, I don't know if you're ready for this.
I don't think I am.
In June of 2005, so before the arrest happened. No, I'm sorry. After. In June of 2005, after those arrests happened, the Oslo city government posted an award for 2 million Norwegian krone for information leading to the Scream and the Madonna. And to sweeten the deal, Eminem, the candy maker, also announced that they would give 2 million M&Ms in exchange for the Scream.
I will say, for a split second, when you said Eminem, I did think you meant the rapper until you clarified the candy.
Candy. Honestly, I would believe the rapper more. Like, maybe he's an art enthusiast and he's like, damn, that sucks. I've got this money.
But no, Eminem was like, we will give you 2 million M&Ms to literally sweeten the deal. No way! This is not a true story. Like, this is a comedy skit.
I know. So, in May of 2006, the following year, mind you, 3 men were convicted in connection with the theft. And the 3 men that were convicted of the crimes were Bjorn Hoen, who was sentenced to 7 years for planning the heist. Peter Tharaldsen was sentenced to 8 years for driving the getaway car. And then Peter Rosenvig was sentenced to 4 years for supplying the car. I guess the other ones, they didn't have enough on them.
Mm-hmm.
Hoen and Tharaldsen were ordered to pay the sum of 750 million kroner. And that was to the city of Oslo because that was the estimated value of the paintings.
Wow.
Thankfully, in August 31st of 2006, days passed, 2 years after they were both stolen, they were recovered.
Wow.
We do not have any specifics on how they did it,
mm-hmm.
but Mr. Hill came in clutch, and yeah, the city was like, we found them, they're safe, don't worry about it anymore, but gave no one any more answers.
Right.
But Mr. Hill, who was, remember, he was involved in the first one.
Yeah.
Said that a criminal who had already been serving a 20-year sentence for armed robbery was able to trade information leading to the recovery in exchange for a better life in prison. I don't know. I really hope he got those 2 million M&Ms.
I was just thinking.
I really do.
I don't know why no one jumped upon that. Like, 2 million M&Ms, hot damn.
Hot damn. So, yeah, the Oslo police had no official comment on the scenario. That was literally all the information we had on how they got it back. They probably want to keep,
their secrets.
Secrets. Fine then. Keep your secrets. But, this theft actually inspired a 10-month reevaluation in the museum security.
Yes. Good.
Thank God. Now, this one, as conclusions, we have poor Munch. He was so popular, apparently, that he was a target. Because in April of 2016, Norwegian police arrested 2 men in connection with the theft of Munch's lithograph from an art gallery in Oslo back in 2009. Like, his shit just keeps getting stolen.
Okay. Damn.
Those were also recovered as well. The
okay,
lithograph was recovered. And just a fun little fact as a closer. You know how I said he made 4 versions of the screen?
Yeah.
I believe 3 of those were out already. One of those was in a private collection because Munch had given it to a family or sold it to a family. I think given. And then it got passed down to this guy. Well, it had been safely tucked away for decades at this point. And he was like, it's time to sell it. In 2012, it was authenticated. It went on the auction. I think it was Southerly's is what it's called.
Okay.
Sold for a record-breaking $119.9 million. That was the highest art had ever been sold for to that date, 2012.
Whoa. Holy shit.
It has been broken since, but it broke the record then.
Wow. That's crazy.
And all of his shit has been recovered.
I'm glad that we know where all of his shit is. Like,
oh my God.
That's crazy. I can't believe that, like, this happened within our lifetime. And I had no idea.
Yeah. The first time that it was stolen, we were 1.
Yeah. And
maybe
the second
6 months to 1. Yeah.
Yeah. And the second time, we were almost in high school.
Yeah. How do we not hear about this?
I feel like I would have heard it in passing at least.
Yeah. Like a news article or something.
Yeah. Or like, because we have like those like news for kids segments that would come on. Like, that's how I found out about Steve Irwin dying in Hurricane Katrina, but they didn't talk about the freaking screen being stolen. Okay.
Oh, they don't teach us enough. Well, there it is.
All right. What an interesting story.
Like, from his love life that shocked the hell out of me to it getting stolen twice. And the poor Madonna.
That's crazy. I'm glad that all of his stuff was found.
Yeah, it was slightly damaged and they did their best to like fix them. But now it's just like, I guess, part of the painting story.
Yeah.
Like, there was a liquid stain on like the bottom corner of one of them. And it's like, bro, please don't tell. Did you spill coffee on the screen? Did you?
Moida. Kill.
Do Do you use the fucking Madonna as a cup holder? Like, what?
That's
crazy.
I mean, you can be an art thief and still have, like, respect for the art. Come on.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Well, this was very interesting. Thank you, Emileigh.
Thank you. It was, yeah.
Twisty turny.
Took you for a roller coaster.
Yes, you did.
So, socials?
Let's do our socials.
Okay. If you like this, you can find us on Facebook.
Ill-Equipped History podcast group and page.
TikTok.
At Ill-Equipped History.
Gmail.
Ill-equippedhistory@gmail.com.
Instagram.
At Ill-Equipped History.
And Patreon.
Patreon.com/Ill-Equipped History. Please consider subscribing.
Also, shout out, we're probably gonna, you might see more TikToks soon. We've recruited a social media manager to help.
Yay!
And we were sitting at the coffee shop the other day and I was doing my actual job and she was like working furiously in front of me and I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm coming up with all the TikToks for the podcast. And I'm like, thank God. Okay. So
finally,
you're gonna see more of us.
We have someone competent.
Yeah, she's like younger than us and like gets the trends. So.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Y'all, it's my cousin Shy. I told her I was going to shout her out.
Yay, Shy.
Yeah. One day I was like, I don't like making TikToks because they take so long. She's like, I love it. And I'm like, you're hired. So I'm paying her in baked goods. So I guess let's send it off. Lock up your paintings better.
I was about to say, if you're gonna rob an art museum, apparently go to Oslo.
Yeah. They don't lock anything up. They just hang it on the wall and they're like, please don't take it.
Pinky swear.
Please. Pinky promise you won't take it. Oh no, where'd that ladder come from? Poor Monk too. He seems to be getting targeted.
I know. Leave him alone. Leave him and his paintings alone.
You painted something so moving that people want to steal it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a compliment.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.